Hello, boys and girls. How you doing? You're now listening and watching. Well, listening if you're on SoundCloud, Stitcher, or from your Tumblr account, which is the SoundCloud link. You're listening. And if you're on YouTube, you're watching. Peter Talks Smackdown. Yeah, I'm doing it now. It's like the second week I was actually able to catch it live, well, taped and aired live on Thursday, and I guess today is Friday. I guess it's gonna go up Friday. This is Thursday. It's gonna go up Friday, earlier than normal. So to get it on out the way, may as well do it now since I watched it. No need for wait until Saturday. So maybe a day early. And I have, I think, on Friday, a Peter Talks Wrestling with. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's with this kid. His name's Nick. He put up a video yesterday on DeAndre Jordan, because he's a huge Mavericks fan. It was like this shoot promo on DeAndre Jordan, because DeAndre Jordan basically turned his back on his agreement to sign with the Dallas Mavericks, and he went back to the LA Clippers, and he cuts this ridiculous promo. His name's Nick, and it's on Bleacher Report, and I posted on the Solid Monster Sounds Off page, Facebook page, and he's like, "Hey man, thanks." So I'm like, what the fuck? So I go from looking at this shit on Bleacher Report and now possibly having him, because he's a fellow wrestling fan. When I first saw it, I was like, man, there's no way in hell this guy can't be a wrestling fan. And sure enough, he is. And we're gonna talk some wrestling tomorrow, and then I'll probably go up Saturday. So may as well get this shit out the way. SmackDown, I'll get into the plugs at the end. SmackDown this week is from Milwaukee, coming off a show from Chicago. Milwaukee's just up the street. A show that I think I was a little too hard on. I don't know. I just feel like the character development of a lot of these people is really bad, especially one of Seth Rollins. He's the World Heavyweight Championship, and his character development is just really going downhill. And who else? I'm just like, I don't like Kevin Owens. I don't like what's happening with Kevin Owens, turning it, to a desperate fool. Rollins looks like a dope, and a lot of stories really don't have much of a direction other than, say, Ryback, Big Show, Miz, Reigns, and Bray, Wyatt. But I mean, I'm not really interested in any of those. They don't have any kind of big card feel to them. Each one of those that I just named, other than, say, Rollins versus Brock Lesnar, they look like Raw matches. And the only reason why the Seth Rollins and Brock looks as interesting as it does is because Brock Lesnar is in it. But you can interchange Seth Rollins with basically anybody, and it would be just a Brock Lesnar match. The only reason why this has drama is because basically it's the fact that he cashed in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania and didn't pin Brock Lesnar to have it. And now he just looks like a dope. I mean, I wish it was something where it seemed more believable that he would be in a ring to face a Brock Lesnar. I wish they would have built his character up a little less dopey, a little less bratty, and made him more of maybe a scumbag rather than a brat, to make me want to see his ass kicked. Apparently, a lot of people want to see Seth Rollins get his ass kicked by Brock Lesnar. I believe Seth Rollins is going to get the victory at Battleground. for some strange reason, because I don't think the belt needs to be off TV for a while. I don't think it's best for business to actually keep the belt on TV. But maybe there's going to be some screwy finish, but still, I think Seth is going to end up winning. But I hope if they're going to keep going with his character like this, I definitely don't want him as World Heavyweight Champion. You may as well just throw that son of a bitch back on Cena or something. But let's go into SmackDown. And speaking of Seth Rollins, he opens up. I mean, first SmackDown, before they go into the intro, they show basically the Brock Lesnar beat down of a car, of that Cadillac, and him chasing Rollins out. Well, Rollins talking shit, calling him out, and then Rollins beating down, Brock Lesnar beating down the car. And then it goes into the opening segment, which is Rollins, and he talks about how he called Brock Lesnar out and blah, 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 and blah, 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 things that didn't happen on Monday to make himself look tough. Next thing you know, you hear this beeping noise. Now, I'm watching, I'm thinking, is this like some sort of, where I'm getting this feed from, I'm like, is this some sort of hurricane, a tornado warning or something? It was just like beep, beep. He doesn't respond to it first. So I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for the sort of breaking news thing at the bottom of the screen to pass by, just to tell whatever area this is being streamed from has some sort of like thunderstorm or going on. But in fact, it's not that. It's actually a tow truck backing up with the Cadillac that Brock Lesnar destroyed post getting smashed, getting compressed. It had been compressed basically to total it, and it was out on the tow truck inside the arena. Now, did they need to actually have it mashed like that? I don't know why they had it mashed. I mean, I would much rather it just been the way that Brock left it to show the damage. But it was almost, you would think that Brock Lesnar himself had Hulk smashed the car. I mean, he Hulk smashed it all right, but he didn't crush it. But they show later on them actually totaling the car, compacting the car. But that was just silly to me. But Heyman comes out. He's on SmackDown. He cuts a promo basically about how Brock Lesnar is going to beat his ass, and then they go back and forth and shoot promos. And right before Heyman can say Brock Lesnar at the end, Seth Rollins has a bit of a meltdown. He tells him to shut up, and he tells everyone to shut their mouth. And he basically ends the promo with the last word. We find out right after that segment that there is a champions versus champions match in the main event that evening against the Intercontinental Champion Ryback versus Seth Rollins. We get Dean Ambrose versus Bo Dallas. Honestly, as soon as Dean Ambrose come out, the feed that I get kind of go out because Tom Warner's a bitch right now. And I find out just on Bleacher Report that he beats Bo Dallas. Dean Ambrose has nothing. I don't know. He's not going to be. I think he's not going to be on Battleground. So I guess he goes out to get the pop from the crowd, but nothing more. He beats Bo Dallas, and until WWE stops screwing around with this guy, and which will never happen. If you listen to this show, you know how I feel about Dean Ambrose and the fact that what the WWE uses him for. They use him as a bit of a side whore when someone's out, and he can kind of just fill in. Before it used to be Daniel Bryan. Just recently, it was for I guess Randy, or not necessarily Randy. I guess for Daniel Bryan. Yeah, I guess this whole run was, since Daniel Bryan's out, and now I don't know what the hell's going on But they're basically, you know, I guess after that Seth Rollins feud, he's just kind of been in limbo. And Bo Dallas, he's been with the New Day. I guess they ended that relationship. I don't know how. I mean, you would think they would follow up on this, but nope. But yeah, Dean Ambrose wins. Rusev is in a squash match against Fandango. Rusev is wearing shoes. You know, I guess he's not fully healed, or he's wearing the shoes from now on as a precaution to the actual injury that he had. But again, this is a squash match, and Rusev is back to his old ways of like just beating up jobbers and throwing them in the accolade and holding them at least 15 seconds before he finally lets go, healing it up again. Now, I guess the storyline now is that he put Dolph Ziggler out of commission from last Monday by basically beating his ass with a crutch and sending his trachea through the top of the crutch, having Dolph Ziggler wheeled off in a stretcher into an ambulance in the fuck gone, because he had his contract dispute, not dispute, but his contract ran out the day after Monday Night Raw. I guess he's gonna lay low for a while. This was like basically it was them writing him out. I think he's gonna lay low for a while and then come back maybe for the go home show, which is in 2 weeks. No, which is next week. So maybe, damn, that would be lame. I don't know. Scratch what I just said. Maybe he comes back. Maybe he doesn't come back. I don't know. I guess he has to come back next week for the go home show if he did renew his contract and face Rusev at Battleground. Roman Reigns versus the Big Show. And what the fuck is the Big Show wearing? I think what it looked like is the Big Show's version of a Shield outfit. It was almost like he was like the Heavy in the Shield. You know, it was weird because it didn't really show his shoulders. It was kind of like a onesie, his shoulders with his sleeves, and sort of like a turtleneck, and it had like padding down the side. Again, it looked like he was part of the Shield, but maybe this is some tap out gear. Oh well. Reigns and Big Show, we forget that these sumbitches met at Payback. I'm pretty sure it was Payback, where was it Payback or Extreme Rules? No, Extreme Rules the last time these sumbitches met up, and it ended with Ryback basically dumping the Spanish announce table on top of the Big Show in a last man standing match. But we forgot all about that. Anyway, this match ends, what is it? Yeah, this match ends in a DQ because Bray Wyatt, right before he's about to hit Big Show with a Superman punch, he interrupts, and then he catches a Superman punch. But Big Show, what is it? He hits Big Show with 2 Superman punches, and then he's grabbed by Bray, and then the Big Show chokeslams his ass, and Bray picks up the bones and hits him with picks the bones and hits Bray Wyatt with his sister Abigail. I apologize. Hits Roman Reigns with his sister Abigail. So this builds up towards their match at Battleground. I don't think there's going to be another Bray, take next week, next Raw, next Smackdown, and if Roman Reigns actually have a match, you're going to have that pesky ass Bray Wyatt hounding his ass. I guess we'll see. Maybe this will be a good match. I don't care for Roman Reigns anymore because he refuses to wrestle. All he does is punch and slap and clothesline. I just can't get into it. Maybe this match, if Battleground would be interesting because, you know, Bray Wyatt, even though he does wrestle, he does moves, but they're two hard-hitting dudes. And I like hard-style kind of stuff. So maybe this will be a decent match. But again, when Roman, it's not like me being a mark. It's really the fact that he has no substance as a wrestler, as an actual performer in the ring. So I just tune his ass out, and we'll see for the go home show what happens into Battleground. Big E versus Titus ONeil, and I guess this is to sort of build up for the tag team championship match for Battleground. We've seen these two brutes in there before, and this was not that good of a match. It was very short. Kofi and Xavier Wood try to get the distraction in, and they both get thrown out. But before they can even make it out the fuck up the damn ramp, Titus wins with that sit-down powerbomb. I guess they're calling it the Titus. And he gets the win over Big E. And man, oh man, lordy, lordy, lordy. Because the New Day has so much heat right now. It's a damn shame they don't have a belt. And they better fucking win that belt back. They better fucking win those belts back. They better. Because if the fucking primetime players, pseudo vanilla ass, no substance, no nothing ass tag team, no heat, keeps those belts, I'm just going to give up on the tag team division. I'm just going to give the fuck up. Because it's bad enough, say what even happens after this. It's bad enough that the Lucha Dragons have to lose clean to the New Day on Monday. We got no Harper and Rowan because Rowan's fucking muscle fell off his arm. The Ascension are just a bunch of dumbasses. And you got our champions who are just a waste of everyone's time. So if they retain the belts, I'm going to put the tag team division in the same box as the Divas division. As I don't give a flying fuck. Alright? And speaking of Ascension, Orton comes out and he basically shoots on Sheamus. And the Ascension come out. Why they send the Ascension out is beyond me. Again, from Elimination Chamber, I thought they were going to actually do something with them because they had a good performance. But it was all a ruse. They probably listened to this podcast and say, hey, let's fuck with Peter. Because we're going to make them look somewhat good and seem like there's a glimmer of hope. But then we're just going to make them into a fucking bunch of idiots. A bunch of jabronis. And that's what they did. So after Orton shoots on Sheamus, the Ascension comes out and they try to get Orton out of the ring. I mean, they don't have a match. They just kind of come out and just want to kick Orton out of the ring. And they both get hit with RKOs. Oh, well, a RKO, a vintage Orton, then RKO. And then they laid waste to the people about to lay down the wastelands, I guess. Oh, Orton, you bore me. I actually kind of didn't doze off. I didn't doze off. I had a hard day at work. Long day. Not a hard, but a long one. And I haven't had a nap, so I kind of got a little sleepy. And it looks like I was going to take maybe like a quick 5-minute as long as this promo was going. But I ended up waking up because this Ascension come out. I was like, hey, this looks interesting. And then I was like, man, I was better off taking that nap. You got Brie Bella with Alicia Fox versus Naomi and Tamina with Nikki at ringside. Oh, I guess I'll be talking about the Divas. Not. This shit is in the I don't give a fuck box. And right now they're the sole controllers of the I don't give a fuck box. The tag team division is about to join. The Hurricane Bellas, now with Fox, they just until that fucking belt gets the when that title reign beats AJ, that's when things gonna get interesting again. Now, the tale right now is like, well, who will get that belt off of Nikki? Blah blah blah. Who's gonna stop this reign of terror? This reign of domination by the Bellas. No NXT girls. I fucking hope not. To come up in that bullshit. But I think Kim, her name Gail Kim. I think Gail Kim is back with the WWE for like a third time. I think I've heard something about that. So we might just get a return of Gail Kim. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. But I already talked about this too much. Fox gets the pin on Tamina with a Nikki distraction and a scissor kick. Next. Oh yeah, we find out that Brock Lesnar will be returning for the Go Home show. For next week's Raw that will be in Atlanta. And we get to the main event, which is Ryback versus Rollins, aka champion versus champion. Gotta love when they do that. Champion versus champion. Well, anyway, it's a good enough match. I sound like such a Debbie Downer. Maybe it's just this block of bullshit that's happening with the WWE that I'm just not feeling. I'm just not feeling this block. Before that block was great. Maybe after this block is great. You know, maybe after SummerSlam, things are gonna like turn around and get back to cracking, because you know what? Football season is just around the corner, right? And you would think that the WWE between Monday and Thursday, they would get their shit together to have some bitches that actually watch wrestling when the NFL season is done and be like, I don't know if I want to watch Monday Night Football tonight. Raw's been awesome. Maybe I don't want to watch on Thursday, the Jacksonville Jaguars against the fucking Tennessee Titans. Maybe I want to watch Smackdown, even though it's taped. Nope. This little fucking gap between the end of the NFL season and the beginning of the NFL season should be some of the hottest fucking content you can possibly kick out, WWE, to persuade people when the fucking football season come back that they actually are in like dire straits of what to watch that evening. Even to go back and forth with. I digress. Again, Ryback versus Rollins, and it's a decent enough match. Come to find out, these guys got good chemistry. They got good chemistry. And it's a pretty decent match, but there's a point where it gets to the outside and Seth has the advantage. He puts Ryback in the ring and he starts to imitate Brock Lesnar. And it seems like that's one of the things that's happening right now to WWE with the top heels. Like KO, Kevin Owens, imitating John Cena. Now all of a sudden Seth has to imitate Brock Lesnar. All right. He bounces back and forth and then he does a vertical leap onto the ring apron. Around the end of the match, when the momentum picks up by Ryback, Seth is hit with a powerbomb and then a meat hook, but escapes a shell shock. He rolls out the ring, grabs his belt, attempts to leave. And then Ryback catches up with him, throws him back into the ring where Rollins rolls out again. He escapes a second shell shock outside the ring, and then he just runs off and it gets counted out. Ryback gets the win. But right before he goes to Gorilla, Big Show walks out. And I guess this is from a little segment early in the show where Big Show is like, hey, I'll take care of Reigns and I got your back kind of thing. Big Show walks out and then they stomp a mud hole in Ryback for a little bit until Reigns comes out for the save. And then Ryback, so many R's. Ryback, Reigns, Rollins. Fuck. God damn. Triple R. But yeah, Ryback hits the shell shock finally on Seth Rollins, and both, which is funny to see them standing side by side, Reigns and Ryback. They could be a tag team, Reigns and Ryback. That would actually be pretty fucking sick once you think about it. They could have a combination of the shell shock into the Superman punch or some shit like that. He can, Ryback can get him in the shell shock. Roman Reigns can pop him with the Superman punch, and then he'll just drop him with the shell shock. That would be pretty cool. I would like that. But yeah, see those two side by side, and it's about alignment. And even though he's not Reigns, in fact, it's not like competing for the world championship, he's still like a big deal for the WWE. He's still an important guy. And to see Ryback align with him, see him aligned with Seth Rollins in a pretty decent match where he seems kind of overpowered Seth, enough for Seth to play, to vacate the premises, to go get help. It looks like they maybe got something for Ryback. Maybe they got something for Ryback, but one can only tell. You don't put, because you can say Cesaro, right? And oh man, he's been putting up these great matches, and how can he not get a push? So well, it's not the first time he's had all these fucking awesome matches, and look where he is. I still have a bet with Jake that he won't be on Raw next week. If he doesn't have a place on the Battleground card, so why should he be on this Go Home show? But again, we need a Cesaro versus Vince McMahon feud. That would be awesome. But nevertheless, the point I'm making is, it seemed that they got to put Ryback in that kind of setting, even though it's on SmackDown. It probably happened again on Raw. It means that they got something for him for the foreseeable future. To only take it away from him, obviously, but nevertheless. And that ends SmackDown. This ends Peter's Talks SmackDown. Again, it's Friday night, but you're gonna see this on Saturday. Sorry, I'm stupid. This is Thursday night. You will see this on Friday, or hear this on Friday. If you would like to follow me on the social medias, PJTW Central, that's Twitter, where I do exclusively wrestling tweets. Ellen Japanese, LINJAPANESE, that is Twitter, where I do general posts. That is SoundCloud, where my account is, where all the podcasts are on the account. That's Snapchat. I do Snapchat. And Instagram. I've been posting a lot of wrestling shit recently. PJTWCentral.com is where you can go and click each icon, whether it's SoundCloud, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Tumblr, whether it's Stitcher. And then there's also a RSS feed that you can right click, save, copy link as, and load it into any way you listen to your podcast on any podcast medium or device. That would be awesome if you subscribe to that. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscription button below, and make sure to go back and check out Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling. We talk about Raw, we talk about the Japan show, we talk about Dominion, the New Japan pay-per-view that just happened on Sunday. And we just general wrestling talk. We're changing the format, and again, starting after SummerSlam, or I think SummerSlam review, or my prediction show, we're going to go strictly video for now on Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. So if you're interested in all this stuff, Peter Talks Smackdown, Peter AJ Talks Wrestling, Peter Talks Wrestling with. At some point, the New Day podcast will return. Dang, I just spoke to Alexa today. Dang, We Love Divas should be making a comeback soon now that the season is back, but she's been working her ass off. I'm just waiting on you. I'm waiting on you, Alexa. Whenever you can get it to me, I'm gonna toss it up on the old shish kebab, the old grill, and we're gonna keep this party moving. And also check out Jake, JG Pro Wrestling, on SoundCloud, where you can find new and the latest NXT reviews with Facet in the World podcast. Again, that's /JG Pro Wrestling, which is also his Twitter account. So, with that said, everyone have a good motherfucking evening.